Hello, I'm Shane O'Reilly.
And I'm Adriana Marquez. Welcome to Stratazine, your source for authentic created content for digital and social media professionals.
On today's show, we'll take a look at food content creation and its effects on people.
First, let's address our question of the day. With a variety of food content types, such as recipes and mukbangs, what food content is currently popular?
Stick around and we'll give you the answer at the end of the podcast. With the abundance of food content types available, we're curious about what college students prefer to watch and why. Adriana Marquez spoke with students on the BYUI campus to discover their preferences.
Welcome back for question of the day. So we're doing something different today. We're taking it indoors instead of outside due to the high heat wave that's been going around in Rexburg. But today we're here with
Riley.
Yes, we're here with Miss Riley. Riley, we just have one question for you. What type of food content do you watch?
I watch a lot of short reels and TikToks about super simple recipes that I can make at my apartment, and I watch a lot of kind of mukbang videos are fun too.
Yes, I do enjoy a mukbang. Mukbangs are really good, especially when you're eating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But why do you like those type of videos?
I don't know. It makes me kind of hungry.
And you know what? You're not lying. Whenever I watch those videos, it makes me hungies too.
Yeah, but it looks good, so it makes me want to make them and eat it.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right. All right. Thank you so much, Riley, for taking the time.
Thank you.
The food content world is ever growing, and more people are diving into creating their own food content.
Bobby Saley has been researching how you can be a cooking content creator and stand out in the world of food content.
Hey Stratazine! Today we'll be exploring how you can grow your brand and audience as a cooking content creator, beyond just posting recipes on Pinterest. Standing out in the crowded world of food content means showing more than just a final dish. Let's break down some of the key ways we can elevate our online presence when we're making cooking content. Here are 3 areas to focus on that can truly set you apart from the rest of the content creators. Tip number 1, tell the story behind your food. Share snippets of grocery runs or prepping ingredients. People connect with the process, not just the final plate. So when you are creating that final plate, let your audience in on the process that you took to get there. Tip number 2, add more depth to your posts. Maybe write a longer caption or microblogs that include personal memories, cultural notes, or reasons why this dish specifically matters to you. Tip number 3, collaborate. Partner with other creators, appear on podcasts, maybe do a guest post. Cross promotions introduce you to new audiences and builds your credibility as a content creator. And don't forget branding basics. Use consistent colors, fonts, and style in your own posts so followers instantly recognize the content that you're producing. Tools like Canva can make brand creation easier than ever, giving it a unified look across all platforms. For links to the helpful tools we've talked about, or for more inspiration, check out the show notes below. I'm Bobby with Stratazine. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Now that we know a bit more about how to become a cooking content creator, let's take a deep dive learning about the negative and positive effects of food-related content.
Recently, I spoke with Kyle Hewitt, a professor in public relations emphasis within the communication department at BYU, Idaho. He provided his insights. Hi, everyone. I'm Shane O'Reilly with Stratazine, and today we'll have our interview portion with Kyle Hewitt, who is a teacher here at BYUI, where he teaches public relations and has an extensive career with that experience. Today, we'll be asking Brother Hewitt his thoughts on recent social media impacts, particularly in the food industry. So the first question I'll ask you, Hewitt, is what would you say is the overall impact of social media and how it affects a consumer?
I think social media affects a lot. Consumers in all industries, especially food. So influencers have a huge foothold in food with what they're eating. If you look at Utah and even Idaho and the influencer relations that that are happening right now in like the swig and pick me up. It's like, oh, well, they drink that, so I'm going to drink that. So I think social media influences a large part of a lot of our lives, and that definitely includes what we eat, where we eat, and how we eat.
For sure. I think we've seen that here, especially. How does the food industry use this to their advantage? Like, how do they use these kind of social media footprints to like advertise for themselves?
Yeah, I think I would include food in how I would address like the whole tourism and hospitality industry. I think they've very successfully created a huge feeling of FOMO, which is just the fear of missing out. You look at like growing up in like Eastern Washington and Southern Utah, like there's places where like a dozen people knew about like this hike that ended in a pool you could jump into, and now it's like never not packed because of social media. And I feel like restaurants, food industries, brands, I mean, you look at Costco as like a food kind of player in that game. I think it's just like there's so much information, just like a fear of like, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. I want to eat that. Oh, I got to try that. Oh, you're visiting here. You got to try this place, right? Like, oh, have you had these things from this place? Oh, you've got to try it. It's just like this, you're missing out. And I feel like, yeah, maybe, but not as much as I think people are actually missing out on those kind of things. So
I think we've seen that. In Southern California, there's a place called Truly's Pizza that was just kind of a nothing kind of place, and then TikTok kind of took off, and now reservations out the wazoo. So I think we've seen that a bunch. The next question I'll ask you is, how do you think media has changed the way people view food within the last decade, as far as how it's changed, how they view it?
Yeah, looking at that question, I think we can even extend that past, the last 2 to 3 decades, because I think we're in the midst of shift. It went from, grow your own, be self-sustainable. Like when I was growing up, it was like, I remember as a kid, like we went out and like, we didn't have a huge garden, but it was kind of like a pride point to like grow your own food. And then we got into this convenience, right? Like we give kids Lunchables and like the processed stuff, and people started making money on like cereals and cookies and stuff. And it's just convenient. And so we kind of turned a blind eye a little bit towards what's going in it. And I think now on social media specifically, with a lot of like the artificial dye bans and a lot of like this Make America Healthy thing again, you're seeing the influencers pick up on that. It's like, here's my budget now that I'm buying healthy again. Because it used to be like, oh, I can't do healthy because I see on social media that's 10 times more expensive. And now we're seeing, I think it's just the beginning of it, but it's a shift coming in like, hey, here's, for example, on social media, I think it was In-N-Out. It's like, hey, our pink lemonade may look different starting now because we're not using, artificial dyes. We're using all the natural stuff. And so I think you're going to see a lot of social media, like official statements from people saying, hey, this change is coming. Steak and Shake, we're using beef tallow. Also influencers as far as like mommy bloggers who are like, hey, here's what I feed my family to be healthy, and here's what it costs, and here's where I do that, and here's how I use ChatGPT to do it and make my shopping list. So I think we're going to see a continued shift in a lot of the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, for sure. And the last question I'll ask you is, what kind of food content have you seen have an effect on you personally? So personally, what kind of stuff have you seen work on you, and how do they do it where it actually has an effect?
Yeah, I think for me, a lot of it is just timing of like when I see it during my day. Like if it's early in the morning, food, social media doesn't play a whole thing. I'm not a big breakfast person. I just kind of get up and go to work. So the timing of that's got to be really good. And I'm not a huge social media, like I don't have a ton of social. I have LinkedIn, and I don't even know if that counts as social media. So I'm not inundated with a lot of ads. I think you see some people that aren't influenced at all. They just see it all the time and they're immune to it. But if you can hit the timing of like the time of day with some convenience and a little bit of like, oh, that does look kind of those marketing persuasive principles. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, that looks really good. And it'll stick on my brain to like, oh man, hey, this has been sounding really good lately. Hey, let's go here. But for me, it's not necessarily because I teach it. And I would hope for a lot of our comm students, because they learn it. It's like, oh, I know what strategy they're using, right? It's not like the persuasiveness. It's like, yeah, I am hungry. It has been a while, and that's close by. Like, okay, that sounds good. Let's do it. So that's kind of how I get influenced a little bit by that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I love those answers, and I think we can especially relate to the last one. I know for me personally, if it's between noon and 6 and I see something, I'm a lot more easily convinced into getting that product. But appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And this has been Strategy.
Brother Hewitt, thanks for taking the time for sharing your expertise on this topic. You also have to wonder as well, do these type of food contents harm kids if they're acceptable to watch? How do parents know if the content their kids are watching, even food-related content, could be safe to watch and won't influence their child into doing harm?
Different states have created new laws aligning with the Constitution that limit speech and prevent certain content from being published for the protection of the people. Sam Johnston has researched how the state of Arkansas are being sued by NetChoice for their new state law.
NetChoice is suing Arkansas over new state laws, claiming that the laws are unconstitutional. Arkansas's Act 901 prohibits some potentially harmful content from being promoted on social media platforms and gives parents of children who committed suicide the power to sue these platform companies. States can have and enforce laws that limit speech, but they must follow a very specific method to align with the Constitution. This is the four-prong test. The first prong is the expression protected by the First Amendment? There are tiers to what expression is most and least protected by the Constitution, with public and political speech at the top, and commercial expression and hate speech receiving less protection. The second prong is the competing government interest substantial? In this case, the government interest would be companies to reach younger audiences with harmful content. Third prong is, does the regulation directly advance the government interest? It seems to. And the fourth prong, the one that is being challenged, is the regulation more extensive than necessary to serve the government interest? This is the one that is being challenged by NetChoice, and this court case will bring into light questions of whether or not companies should be held accountable for the impact of content they platform, about the limits of the First Amendment, and about whether a state can use its power to filter out content by law. Thank you. For Stratazine, I'm Sam Johnston.
Our tips and tools for this week are directly related to our topic of discussion. Cheyenne and I took on the task of researching the iconic recipe app Tasty by BuzzFeed.
Hey everyone, my name is Cheyenne and welcome back to the Stratazine Tips and Tools segment. Today, we're diving into one of the most useful and iconic food/recipe apps on the internet, Tasty by BuzzFeed. I'll be showing you how to use some of its tools and features. To start, here's what the main page looks like when you open the app. You'll see here at the top on the Discover tab that there's a search button. When you click on it, it shows you some suggestions for what to search, including what's popular, difficulty level, diets, meal type, cooking style, and cuisine. So let's start with a very useful feature at the top called What's in Your Kitchen. With this feature, you can type in up to 3 ingredients you have on hand at home, and the app will find recipes for you. So for example, I'll type in eggs, milk, and spinach. So it found 33 recipes that I can make with just these 3 ingredients. This is perfect for when you don't have time to go to the grocery store or don't have something on hand right away. So let's take a look at another feature by selecting this cinnamon roll recipe right here. So we can see here that there are community photos from people who have tried this recipe, including right here some different tips from them. If we scroll down a little bit, here are the ingredients needed along with this button to modify the recipe according to the quantity that you want to make. If you scroll down some more, we can see that it also includes some of the nutrition information, which is helpful for those of us tracking our calories and macros. You can also save time by having the app instantly add the ingredients you need to your shopping cart. So right here you can see that it gives you an estimate of how much the ingredients for the recipe will cost. So let's try it out. I've already preset my location to the Rexburg Walmart, so I'm going to select Add Ingredients to my cart, and it shows some brands and the quantities needed of each item. Of course, you can modify it as needed. It also lists some ingredients that you may already have in your kitchen, so you won't need to buy those. Another one of the main features I want to highlight is this button right here. It's called the step-by-step mode. And what this does is this allows you to view each recipe step with a mini video so you can follow along. And once you're done, you can just swipe over and watch the next step, and you're also welcome to pause as needed. The last feature I want to show you is this bookmarking feature, and you'll see it at the very top right-hand corner. With this, you'll need to make a free account, then that way you can save your recipes and data. So once you click on the bookmark, you can save it to a specific cookbook that the app has already made for you, or you can make your own and give it a name. And that's just a little taste of the Tasty app. It's mostly free, fun, and a very visual way to explore recipes. As you can see, there are lots more to explore in the app, so make sure you head on over to the App Store and download it to continue exploring and having fun with their features. Stay tuned for more tips and tools in the next episode.
Back to our question of the day. With a variety of food content types such as recipes and mukbangs, what food-related content is currently popular?
According to the latest report on Metastat, cooking recipes are the most popular related content, with 51% worldwide user preference.
That's all on this episode of Stratazine. Stay tuned for next week's episode topic.
Thanks for joining us today at Stratazine.
You can find links and attribution to everything from today's podcast in the credits and the show notes. Have a great day.